Hey, brothers! Welcome back to the African Echoes, where we slice and dice the spiciest international dramas hotter than a Hollywood blockbuster. Today, we're going to kick back, sip some iced tea, and dive deep into the nail-biting saga between Russia and Ukraine. And it's not just these two heavyweights, there's the U.S. pulling strings behind the scenes, making this chess game messier than a bowl of mixed noodle soup. You guys ready? Let's dive in. Brothers, these past few weeks you've probably felt the heat between Russia and Ukraine like standing next to a blazing bread oven. It's like two heavyweight boxers in the ring growling, neither willing to back down. This drama's been simmering since 2014 when Russia annexed Crimea, then the fighting in Donbass, and now the whole world's holding its breath for the next move. Just recently, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky dropped a bombshell that had everyone doing a double-take, half joking, half deadly serious, and totally chilling. In a nutshell, he sent Russia a message if they don't sit down for proper peace talks. Don't blame Ukraine if something unexpected goes down. And what's this unexpected thing? It's tied to Russia's big day, May 9th, when they roll out tanks and missiles in Red Square to flex their might, celebrating their World War II victory. Picture it, brothers, the world's watching. Russia show off its muscles, and then some oops moment makes Moscow look like a fool straight out of an action movie script. How did Zelensky say it so boldly? He basically went any leaders who trekked to Russia for the May 9th parade. Russia's got to handle their security. Ukraine's not liable if some drama pops off on Russian soil. Who knows what Russia might pull? Maybe they'll stage a bomb blast or a fire, then turn around and pin it on Ukraine to justify more fighting. What do you guys think? It's like Ukraine's playing a psychological game, half threatening, half taunting Russia want peace. Sit down and talk or brace yourself. And brothers, for Zelensky to talk this big, he's got to have some serious backing. No way a small country like Ukraine gets this bold against a giant like Russia without something up their sleeve. Let me break down the context a bit more so you see why Zelensky's so confident. Flashback time, brothers. Since the Russia-Ukraine conflict kicked off, Ukraine's shown they're no pushover. Remember 2022. When Russia launched their special military operation, many thought Ukraine would crumble like a sandcastle. Nope. Thanks to the grit of their people weapons from the West and Zelensky's leadership, Ukraine held strong and even hit back hard. They pushed Russia out of Kyiv, took back Kharkiv, and made Russia sweat in Kherson. Plus, Ukraine's been pulling high-tech stunts using cheap but deadly drones to buzz deep into Russian territory, hitting oil depots and factories, leaving Moscow scrambling. Now, if Ukraine pulls something wild on May 9th, like dropping a tiny drone over Red Square blasting Yo Russia, what's good happy holiday, man? Russia would be humiliated. No need for a fight. No bombs, just a trolling stunt like that would make Russia the world's laughingstock. Picture it. The parade's in full swing, tanks rolling by all majestic, and suddenly a drone zips overhead blaring Russia tried Ukraine's drones, yet they're cheap. All those missiles and jets they're flexing would look like toys. Russia would be fuming, but what could they do except swallow their pride? But hold up, don't think Ukraine's just bluffing for laughs. They've got skills, and more importantly, they've got allies. The US, NATO, the EU, these are Ukraine's rock-solid backup. Especially the U.S., who just made a move that's got everyone's attention. A deal to mine rare minerals with Ukraine in a nutshell. Ukraine's bringing its precious deposits like lithium, the stuff the world's fighting over for electric car batteries, and the U.S. is tossing in cutting-edge tech and a ton of fancy weapons. Sounds sweet, right? The deal's supposed to help Ukraine rebuild post-war with early profits, fixing homes, roads, schools. But brothers, the U.S. isn't running a charity. President Donald Trump, with his razor-sharp business brain, must see some massive payoff. Let me dig deeper for you guys to show what the U.S. is really after. First off, the U.S. wants to cut reliance on China's minerals. Right now, China controls most of the world's lithium and rare earths key for making chips, EVs, even high-tech weapons. If the U.S. taps Ukraine's resources, they won't have to worry about China choking their supply chain. That means producing tech without begging Beijing. Plus, Ukraine's strategic spot in Europe makes this deal a power move to boost U.S. influence in the region. Second, the U.S. wants to block Russia and China from teaming up. Russia and China are getting chummy, especially with oil and gas deals. If the U.S. powers up Ukraine, Russia's stuck. Keep fighting and bleed cash or make peace and lose face. Also, if Ukraine becomes America's mineral gold mine, China loses a potential partner. Third, it's about staying the big brother in Europe without sending troops. By backing Ukraine, the U.S. Helps its European allies who are stressing over the war while locking in its top dog status. And the best part, just send weapons and tech safe and profitable. Talk about hitting 3 birds with 1 stone. You guys see Trump's business savvy. No wonder he went from billionaire to president. Now let's flip to Russia. How are they holding up? Straight talk, Russia's stuck caught between a rock and a hard place. May 9th is their big holiday like our Lunar New Year, so they definitely don't want any disruptions. But here's the problem. How do they save face and stay secure? They've got 2 paths, soft or hard. The soft play rush to negotiate with Ukraine. But brothers, Russia's a big player fighting Ukraine for years. Imagine them scurrying to talk just because Zelensky threw some shade. It's like admitting they're rattled. Picture Putin addressing Russians. All right, folks, Ukraine's threats are too scary. Let's negotiate. The public would lose it. What's this weak sauce boss? The hard play. Beef up defenses, deploy anti-air missiles, radars everywhere. Make sure not even a mosquito gets near Red Square, but that's risky too. Ukraine's small but scrappy, proving they've got game. Who's to say they won't pull a bold move? Even with Russia's top-notch air defenses, what if Ukraine plays a distraction card like hitting somewhere else to throw Russia off Russia's sweating bullets? Let me tell you a quick story to show how Russia's been caught off guard before. Back in 2023, Ukraine pulled a legendary troll move. They sent a squad of drones cheap as a banh mi straight into Russia, targeting an oil refinery near Moscow. Russia, with their pricey air defenses, didn't catch them in time. Result: the refinery went up in flames. Russia scrambled to put it out, and the internet was rolling with laughter. Ukraine didn't need to cause massive damage. They just humiliated Russia, proving, hey, Russia, you're tough, but we can still poke you. If Ukraine pulls a similar stunt or something even wilder on May 9th, Russia's in for a rough day. In short, Russia's on the back foot, forced to calculate every move because one slip-up and the world's laughing at them. While this drama's hitting fever pitch, Zelensky doubled down with 3 red lines. Ukraine won't budge on making Russia's headache even worse. First, not an inch of land goes to Russia. The territories Russia's holding, like Donetsk, Luhansk. Crimea, Ukraine says, are theirs, just temporarily out of reach. Zelensky's like, my land, I'll take it back. If not in my lifetime, my kids or grandkids will second build a stronger military. Ukraine's not downsizing, they're upgrading, buying top-tier weapons from the US, UK, Germany. Training hard, it's like Russia want to fight. Bring it, we're ready. Third, freedom to join the EU and NATO. Ukraine's stance, I want to roll with the EU and NATO, that's my call. Russia doesn't get a say. This is Russia's worst nightmare if Ukraine joins NATO. Russia's got a super strong neighbor backed by the alliance, threatening their security big time. Brothers, isn't Ukraine straight up badass? From underdog to talking to Russia like equals. Russia's got its own red lines, and the big one is Ukraine must never join NATO. It's a non-negotiable for them, seen as a direct security threat. They also want Ukraine to demilitarize, meaning cut their army and stop getting Western weapons. But brothers, Ukraine's getting pumped with arms cash and morale from the US and NATO. Why would they let Russia push them around? So now it's like 2 lions roaring on the savannah, neither backing down. What's Russia's next move? A few scenarios. 1, negotiate peace, sit down with Ukraine, maybe give back some occupied land. But that'd make Putin look weak to Russians. We fought so long, spent so much, and now we fold. 2, go harder. Militarily send more troops, weapons, but that's crazy expensive. Russia's economy is under sanctions. Oil and gas sales are shaky. Where's the cash for a long war? 3, play the diplomatic card, cozy up to countries like China, India, or African nations to pressure the West. But China's busy dodging US tariffs, and India's playing friends with everyone, so they might not have Russia's back fully. Putin's got a tough puzzle, solve it wrong, and it's both a PR disaster and a money pit. Meanwhile, Trump's playing a long game. Lately, he's dropped the buddy-buddy vibe with Putin and gone hard. If Russia doesn't negotiate, we'll give Ukraine more than ever. Sounds simple, but it's a warning. Putin, no peace, I'll turn Ukraine into a powerhouse and you'll regret it. Trump's not just helping Ukraine, he's protecting U.S. interests. By investing in Ukraine, the U.S. gets minerals, keeps Russia pinned, and cuts off a potential ally for China. Let me share a fun tidbit about Trump to show how business-minded he is. Back in his first term, he shocked everyone by suggesting the U.S. buy Greenland from Denmark because of its massive mineral reserves. People laughed, called him crazy. But now, with this Ukraine mineral deal, it's clear Trump's always thinking big, eyeing strategic gold mines. You guys see why he's still a force in politics. In summary, brothers Russia, Ukraine, and the US are locked in a crazy complex chess match. Ukraine's bolder than ever, daring to challenge Russia with US support. Russia's scrambling to save face and avoid getting trolled on their home turf. And the US, with Trump's deal-making brain, is maneuvering to help Ukraine while securing long-term wins. Will Russia's May 9th parade go off without a hitch? Or will Ukraine pull a surprise like a trolling stunt for the ages? And where's Trump steering this game? Only time will tell. But brothers, with tensions this high, it's the regular folks on both sides who suffer homes, wrecked economies, tanking dreams, shattered. Maybe, like we joke, get these big shots to a beer joint, crack open a few cold ones and talk it out. All this growling's exhausting. Before we wrap up, let me share a quick thought. No matter how wild these global dramas get, our lives keep rolling. You ever notice how we stress over news like the world's about to explode, but then we still gotta work, study, take care of family? So besides staying informed, keep the good vibes, hustle hard, and live life to the fullest, brothers. Oh, and if you're hitting the bars this weekend but don't want to drive, try those driver apps, super convenient, book one and they'll get you and your car home safe. Or if you're chilling at home, fire up Netflix. Watch war flicks like All Quiet on the Western Front, entertaining and a reminder of why peace matters. But enough of that, back to the global drama. For those wanting the latest scoops, smash that subscribe button for the African Echoes and turn on notifications. Drop a comment with your take. What's Russia and Ukraine's next move, or what's Trump's next big play? And if you've got ideas for our next episode, like Middle East drama or global economy stuff, let us know in the comments. We'll hook it up. Thanks for tuning in. Brothers, catch you in the next one. Stay tuned.